Hey everyone, Nolan here with FishUSA. We're down here at the Muddycreek Tackle Shop. Got our friends Ben and Paul here with us, and they're gonna give us a tour of the facility, show us how your awesome Muddycreek products are made. So we're really excited to get this started. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So Ben, you guys have quite a few machines here.
Yeah, it's a pretty robust shop. We're well equipped for anything we need to do here. As you can see, we have a lot of stock here, parts and pieces for Muddycreek. This is where it all kind of comes together, and then we do our assembly up here, as well as packaging here behind us. We've got a lot of CNC turning equipment in this front building, and a couple manual machines as well for doing some secondary ops,
cool,
things like that.
But everything is done right here in this facility, right? From start to finish, every Muddycreek product is
start to finish.
That is really, really cool. Really cool.
Yep, we start with a raw bar of aluminum and turn it into that beautiful gear that you see on these boats.
That's awesome. And you know, we're not too far from Lake Erie. We're just a little, southeast of Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, not too far.
Awesome. So these products obviously get some good testing, not too far from home, which is really cool.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, cool. Let's take a look at some of these machines.
All right, sounds good. So we're back here in our quality department. This is our inspection lab, and we've got Chris here. He's our quality manager, and he's inspecting some parts right now. So kind of unique in this type of field for us to have a dedicated quality department. But if you take a look at what's going on here, this is a CMM machine, and we're actually checking these parts. So he's got a program running right now. It's basically a CNC machine just for inspection. So it's got a little ruby probe on the end of it, and every time it beeps, it's checking a feature on that part.
Pretty high-tech stuff, Ben.
Yeah, for sure. This kind of thing takes some extra time, but we feel that it's necessary because it ensures that anything that leaves our door is a high quality product.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys want to step back to our back building? This is where a lot more fabrication and manufacturing happens. It's a little bit of a bigger space, a little noisy back here, but hopefully we can hear all right.
Sounds good. Let's take a look.
Come on back.
So this is where a lot of the magic happens, huh?
Yep. Yeah, so the raw material comes in, and you know, of course we have to cut it up into usable lengths. But you know, all of our stuff starts from these raw billets of aluminum. It's all 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. We do a bit of stainless too on our products. That's the two main materials, stainless and aluminum. So it gets saw cut. This is an auto saw, so it's gonna cut a slug off. The saw is gonna retract, and it's automatically gonna suck this part up in, and it'll stop right where it needs to go. The next cut happens. So, pretty handy machine.
Awesome. It's a lot of aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we get it by the truckload. So.
How often do you guys get a truckload?
Oh, there's probably a tractor trailer in here 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very cool.
And this time of year, you know, we're in the fall of the year right now, and so it's kind of the off season for our Great Lakes anglers as things are wrapping up for the year. But for us, production is just ramping up,
Gotcha.
right? Because we need to fill these shelves so we're ready for the springtime.
Everybody's working on outfitting their boat, thinking about what they want to add and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get a lot of calls right now with people thinking about the future here and being ready for the springtime.
Awesome.
So it's kind of an exciting time of year for us.
No doubt.
You know, we're working on new products and stocking the shelves. As you can see back behind the saw here, that's all product ready to ship. So by the spring of the year, we're going to have a lot more than just that.
And that's pretty loaded.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, that's just one small section of our stock. We have trailers in the back that are full of stock.
Very cool.
That's one thing we kind of pride ourselves on is availability.
Yeah.
You know, we really care about the customer, and it's kind of, well, if you're an angler and you're working a 9-to-5 job or 40 hours a week, you've only got so many days in the year to fish.
For sure.
We take that very seriously. We want to get you out there as quick as possible. So we feel it's our responsibility to keep that stock on the shelves ready to go.
I think we can all appreciate that.
Yeah, we're all anglers here, so we all know what it's like, and you know, you can prepare all winter and you get your boat out in the spring and inevitably you've forgotten something, right?
No doubt, no doubt.
Give us a call, we've got it.
Awesome. Well, cool. Let's keep taking a look.
Okay, this is kind of a unique machine. This is a CNC gantry router. So we can take full plates of material, set it down on here, and nest them and get a good yield out of a plate. So by yield, I mean we can nest things tighter together and we have less scrap, right? We've got it set up with a couple different fixtures right now. The one on the back is a vacuum table. So that's great for taking a sheet of material that gets vacuumed down. We don't have to worry about clamps or work holding, things like that. Go ahead and cut it out, pull the parts off, they're done for the most part. Another fixture for larger round material. So,
Gotcha.
pretty flexible machine, somewhat unique. A lot of machine shops don't have something like this.
Okay.
So kind of an interesting little point. So you'll probably notice throughout our shop we've got different workstations. Most of our machinists are also programmers. You know, we've got a shop here with about 15 guys working.
Okay.
Guys and girls. And everybody's got to wear a lot of hats in a shop this size, right? So most of the guys are cross-trained. We try to hire guys that have some sort of higher ed degree,
Gotcha.
be that an associate's degree in machining or welding, business things. Paul's got a background in marketing. So a lot of cross-training around here, but as you can see, we try to set up so the guys can program close to the machines. So we've got another workstation up in the front, actually 2 workstations, where while they're running machines, they can be setting up or programming a new part. We'll take a look here. We're actually manufacturing parts for Muddycreek on this machine right now. And that's the parts we're making right now. That's an adapter for a smoker craft for a 90-degree integrated gunnel mount. They call it an IGTS track on that boat. And that's what it starts out as. So you can imagine a piece of aluminum with this profile, 12 feet long. Starts out on the saw we just showed you. Cut it into these chunks. Put it on this milling machine. That's what it ends up.
That is pretty sweet.
This is a pretty new machine. It's a dual spindle machine. It's actually got a bar feeder on it, so we can load that thing up with bars. It'll run lights out 24/7. As long as we keep stock in there, it'll keep spitting new parts out. So, you know, it's got 2 spindles. This machine's the front side. Second spindle comes, grabs that part. Machine's the back side. Comes out the conveyor belt. And you've got beautiful little thumb screws. And I think for this run, we're making 6,000 of these.
6,000. How many do you think are in that box right there, Ben?
Oh, there's probably 3,500 or so in there.
Gotcha.
So with a consumer product like this, fit and finish is super important. And we've gone through a lot of different testing to see what gives the best surface finish. So if you ever pick up a Muddycreek Tackle part, usually people first notice the fit and finish. And we kind of pride ourselves on that. We take time to round over the edges of our tubes. We don't have to use plastic caps, things like that. It's just a premium product because we take the extra time to pay attention to fit and finish.
Yeah.
But one of the steps in the finishing process is tumbling. So we'll tumble these parts, and we've got this media, abrasive, and different shapes give you different finishes. And and we found that this is the right media for this particular type of part.
Okay.
So that's knocking off all the hard edges, rounding them off. You know, safety's another really important thing. These things are in your boats. You know, you tend to lean up against the gunnels and things like that. So we don't want anything sharp sticking out that you can cut yourself on. And it looks better if it has a broken edge on it. So it just kind of rounds over the edges, takes any of the imperfections from cutter marks, things like that. Charles is actually holding a piece right here. Let's show these parts. So they'll come off the machine looking like that, and then your next step gets those edges broken like this one. And that's a good basis for us to clean up and then send out for anodize. Once you anodize it, now it gives that slick silver clear anodized look that everybody's used to.
Gotcha.
I'm here with Dom. Dom's one of our really good welders here. He's a left-handed welder, which is something you don't see every day.
Dang.
He's gonna weld up a post for a tool caddy for us today. So this is the biggest vertical mill that Doosan makes. This is our newest milling machine. We've got it set up with multiple vices to do multiple different jobs. So the milling machines, this is just a really big version of what we saw running a moment ago. Anything square, right?
Gotcha.
Anything that is not round goes on a milling machine. Round parts go on a lathe. Now there are round parts that have square features, or maybe they have some bolt holes or something like that,
okay,
where we'd put it on one of these machines as a second operation.
Makes sense.
I think that wraps it up back here. You want to head up front and take a look at some products?
Let's do it.
All right.
This is the jointed thread, and we have a series of holes in there, and these are the locating holes that are every 18 degrees. I got some white lithium grease that I'm going to put on here, and I just put it on the outside of that bore a little bit. And I got my Loctite, and I like to just put a little dab of Loctite on the inside where the thread goes. And we have our axle. We call this the axle. It's going to go inside here and get Loctited in. We got that. I also have a little bit of thin oil that I put near the pinholes to help keep lubricated as you're rotating it over time. So this is the male end. It's got the big hub, and that's where a lot of the strength comes from. And then we got the 4 pins that help locate it, and that also is really strong as well, as they lock together. So everything rides on this hub and on that axle. So I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to get my thin washer. This is like 8/1000 thick. That's going to go on the bottom there. And I do have 2 springs. A lot of our charter captains kind of gave us some advice early on. So we got a light spring on the side, and we got a heavy spring on the bottom. So I'm going to put that light spring because this is the side action. We have our axle cap and our screw. I'm just going to put that together, and it's flush so it doesn't stick out. I'm just going to put a dab of Loctite on the end. And I'll just kind of help guide that into the hole so it doesn't grab the edge. This one already had it in there. I'm just going to stick this one there. I'm going to get my washer, my heavy spring. I got my flat screw and my axle cap. And the same thing, I'm going to just get that little bit of Loctite just to keep it from coming out over time. We have some O-rings we put on here. So one of the things that we do is our tubes have a little O-ring, and that O-ring grabs onto the tube as you're tightening it on there. And it keeps it from vibrating loose over time. Some other companies crimp it, but we have an O-ring that kind of locks it in. But if you need to take it on and off because you dropped something down in there, we also have threads so you could take it on and off. So the grease just keeps it from sticking. We have a drain hole right here which lets all the water out as they're sitting out in the weather. And then these two pins here are for like a gimbal bar. We have a couple pins. You would throw a couple pins in there, and this gimbal bar goes on top. So if your rod has that crosshatch on the bottom of it to keep it from rotating, that's an accessory add-on that you can buy separately. So most of our track comes with hardware. We got them kind of sealed up in these bags, and they got all the set screws for the corners and all the bolts, washers, lock washers, and nuts that are going to bolt it down on the boat down there. I just have a little buffer piece that I stick in the track. I'll slide that in there so that whenever we vacuum seal it, I can get it right in the middle so it doesn't really damage the track as it gets vacuum sealed and we get it boxed up. So that's kind of what I'm going to do with most of these pieces here. It's more economical to do a full run, so we're not wasting all this extra plastic over here and also wasting the cardboard, so we try to max it out, even if they are different parts. So I get about a hand length, because as we cut it we have room in between to kind of get in between the parts. And we got the vacuum perforated area, you know, to kind of use as an eyeball to keep it straight, make it look kind of nice. So that's how I would set that up. And I'm going to be cutting down my rows, and then obviously down here. I'm going to hit the vacuum, it's going to light up and it's going to heat up for about 30 seconds and it vacuums down. If you look closely, about 25 seconds in, you'll see the plastic drooping, and it will suction up a little bit as it starts to melt. And it'll droop back down a little bit right before it comes down to vacuum.
Yeah, so you just saw Charles demonstrate our vacuum packaging method, and then, you know, once we cut this up, it still goes into a box. Everything gets labeled with SKUs and everything. We just like to go the extra mile to make sure everything's secure, protected during shipment and on the shelf, and keep things professional.
Nolan, I want to thank you for coming out today and spending some time with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, one of the things that we pride ourselves, and the number one thing that we pride ourselves on here is our ability to serve the customer. They are our number one focus. You know, the season is very short. The window isn't very big for folks to get out there and do what they love to do. And you know, when somebody calls with a need or a question, we want to respond right away and get them what they need, so that we're not holding them up from doing what they love. All the products that we design and put together are based on what we feel the customer would want and need when they're out there on the water to give them a successful trip. And just again, can't thank you enough for coming out and spending some time with us, and we really appreciate you guys.
Well, it is really easy to see that everyone here is super passionate about what they're doing, very passionate about Muddy Creek, putting out a great product, and passionate anglers as well. So we thank you for having us. It was awesome.
Thank you.
And you guys can find all your Muddy Creek products at fishusa.com. Thank you for watching.